Well, hello, everyone. I'm Ms. Z from Build a Business You Love, and thank you guys so much for tuning in to this wonderful podcast today. I'm speaking with Miss Juanita Austin of Faith Design Tumblers. Let me get that right. Faith Design Tumblers, and Miss Juanita does the most beautiful tumblers, and we were just talking. She's just a wonderful spirit, and today she's going to tell us about, how she's gotten into the business and some interesting things about the business, some tools that she uses, and how she creates her beautiful designs. So, hello, Miss Juanita. How are you?
I'm doing great, Ms. Z. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time and just teaching us, how to do this and showing us exactly what it is that you do and telling us about your business. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us what inspired you to or encouraged you to start this business. And I love the name, by the way, Faith Design Tumblers. What's the story behind that?
So I was born and raised as a Baptist/Christian. And and everyone will always say, you gotta have faith, you gotta have faith. And in my earlier years, I suffered child molestation and mental and physical
Yeah.
abuse. And I was in a relationship that wasn't healthy. Um, and when you're in a relationship that's not healthy, you have people that will break down your self-esteem, and it makes you feel like you're not beautiful, you're not wanted, those kind of things.
Right.
And but I had a father, an earthly father, that would always tell me that I'm beautiful, I was his queen, and whatever my father told me override anything that
That's
anyone
right.
else.
That's right.
And when I realized I had to love myself before I can love anyone else, I got out of the relationship. And I just continued to
Good for
pray and
you.
ask God to give me the strength that I needed. And when he showed me my husband, and I, of course, when I met him, I was like, he has to know, everything that's going on in my past life.
Absolutely.
And I shared it with him, and he still loved me. And, we got married. And I told him, I said, I want to do something to encourage women that had or still is going through a relationship or time in their life where they dealt with anxiety or depression, any type of abuse, that you can get out of it. You're beautiful, you're talented. And I wanted to do shirts, and I wanted on my shirts, I wanted to have inspirational sayings.
Yes.
And so one day, Mother's Day, as a matter of fact, it was Mother's Day, my husband came home with the machine. And I was like, oh, I get to make shirts. And girl, I didn't know nothing about making no shirt. I said, uh-oh, now I got to go to YT University and try to see how to make these shirts. So I can be extra sometimes. So I said, okay, but I got to have me a cup with an inspirational saying on it while I'm making my shirts.
Right.
So I went to one of my favorite Bible stores at that time to look for my favorite scripture and my favorite color, which was purple. Couldn't find it. It was either or. And I said, forget it. Make my own tumbler, my own cup. So I went back to YT University, and I was like, oh, okay. So my first tumbler that I made, I wanted to put on there Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And because at that time, that's what it was. And I was getting ready to do something that I never shared with anyone but my husband. And I went to make the tumbler. I did the first process. And as I was getting ready to type up on my machine the scripture, I clearly heard God say, no, do not put that. And I was like, but I want to put this. Because that's how I talk to him. I talk to him just like that.
Right. You can hear him speak to you. That's right. But it's not what you want.
Yeah, he might forgot. So I just want to help him a little bit. So he said, no, I want you to put trust in God. I was like, I don't want to put that though. And I said, but okay, I'm gonna do it since you created the universe. I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna trust in you since you did that.
I'm trusting you. So I put it on the cup, and girl, that cup was just as tacky as all get out. It was a hot mess. But I said, God, I did it.
Right.
I did it. And I think I shared with you a replica of the tumbler that I did. And I was like, okay. So I went on. My next cup was a red cup that had Philippians 4:13 on it. I said, oh, I finally got my scripture. I took it to work and I showed it to my godfriend because, in corporate America, you're not supposed to talk about religion.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, well, my God is bigger than this company. And my friend that I know is just as big too, because she believes in the same God that I believe in.
Right.
And I showed it to her. She said, oh my gosh, baby, this is beautiful. And as I was showing it to her, people were coming in and it was like, oh my gosh, who did this?
Look at that.
And I was like, I did it. And they said, oh, well, I need to put in an order. And I was like, but wait a minute. No. I'm not doing tumblers. I'm creating shirts, not tumblers. And I said, but before you do this shirt, I want a tumbler. And I was like, okay. So needless to say, my first year, and it was just a craft. My first year, I want to say I did about 5K.
Wow.
And that was just as a craft.
Yeah.
And that was also
hobby.
Yeah, just a hobby.
Wow.
And I was doing discounts and this, because I did not want to charge.
I know.
But I had to do something. And I was like, okay, God, I don't know what it is. And I just started creating, I let the tumblers speak versus the shirts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now they can be at work, because we don't know what anyone is going through.
That's right.
And, they can be going through anything. So when they're at work, they can, of course, have their coffee, tea, or water in it, but at least it'll say something that's going to encourage them.
A reminder of who he is, what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He did it.
Beautiful.
And that's what I do. So my glitter that I use is different. Some of them are store-bought, but some of them I actually invest in it. And it's like, my husband's like, you don't need to buy any more of that. And I'm like, but it's beautiful.
That's right.
And so when I see it, and when the women purchase it, I want them to know that they're just as beautiful as this tumbler. So I put my love in it. And as I was making the tumblers, it helped me with my anxiety.
Wow.
It helped me with my depression. And then one day I was dead set, though. I was going to make this shirt. Because, God just don't know.
You still into the shirt? He's showing you, hey, listen, I got something better for you. And you're like, I need a shirt. I need to make shirts.
So I went and I made a shirt because I was going to a pop-up. And I go to the pop-up and I had Faith Design Tumblers when I left home. Okay, when I left home. By the time I got to the vending event, it said Faith Design Tum. My L-E-R and S had fell off.
Oh.
So I was like, ooh. Okay. So I guess the shirts is not for me. So God was like, I tried to tell you, but you ain't. I tried
to tell you.
So, but yeah, it's been a blessing. And I just want to just share with women and men, because men go through things too, that don't let your past dictate your future.
Your future, absolutely. And that's an amazing story. And I thank you so much, by the way, for being vulnerable, sharing your traumas with us, because so many of us go through things and we keep it here, it's bottled up. And I think, a lot of women watching this, fellow, entrepreneurial or aspiring women who want to start businesses, you're giving them hope. You let them know, don't let your trauma become you.
Yeah.
Don't let your trauma, be what you are.
Yes.
And you can move forward from it. You're a testimony in itself. And I could definitely relate to you when you say that you've been through trauma and you hear God speaking to you and hear him say, hey, this is what you need to do, and he's pointing you in the right direction. And that's the reason why I started this business, because I heard him speak to me. I wasn't going to do this.
And it's a reason.
I was, and I built this to help other women, to start businesses and get themselves together with their businesses and their strategy. And so I can definitely relate. And I thank you so much for sharing that. That's an amazing start and an amazing story. Wow. And so with that, with now you're doing tumblers, right? Not t-shirts.
Yeah. Tumblers.
Now you're doing tumblers, right? And so what's your process, I guess, and how you make the tumblers? Like, is it something that's long and drawn out? Does it take days to do? Or like, I always wondered, because I see people on Facebook or TikTok, and they got that little machine and it's rotating, and I'm just like, how do they do this stuff? So let's
Okay.
talk a little bit. Not exactly, don't give away all your, all your gems, but
It's out there. It's out there. If people want to get into it, they can. But it's funny because, like I said, when I started, and you kind of reminded me of it, and it's hilarious. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna. It's funny you just mentioned that, because when I started it, I was just doing it because I wanted just one cup for me.
right.
So
Right.
I didn't invest in a machine. So I'm gonna be so vulnerable and blunt with you ladies and whomever else may be listening. But I went to the dollar store.
Mhm.
I got a pail, and I got some rocks,
Okay.
and I got a paint roller.
Okay. You made
And
it happen.
I did, because I wasn't going to invest in no $200, $300,
That's
$400
right. You
machine
made it happen, is what you did.
so I can make my cups. So I was doing my tumbler, and I put it on the paint roller, and that's why the joke was tacky. But I was sat there and I was rolling. I literally had to sit there and manually turn it.
Okay.
I manually had to turn it, because that's how determined I was to get these shirts done. And another thing with me, I had to work on patience.
Yeah.
So, and I knew patience was another thing that I had to work on. And doing tumblers is not a rushing process. So if somebody's on the other side and they're watching this, they can say, yeah, you're not going to rush a tumbler. It's a process. Our journey is a process. Building a business is a process. And I sat there and I had to keep turning, because if I stop and that stuff start dropping, oh, that's going to be trouble. And you could be mad, because you got to starting over is horrible. But
you got to start it all over. Okay.
Oh, girl, you got to scratch it. It's like you got to take an eraser and start over.
Oh, wow.
So it's a process.
Okay.
But when I started to get so many orders, I couldn't do that. So I did invest, but I invested in another small business, because I've always was a person that believed in investing in other smaller businesses.
Right.
And Etsy, I'm gonna give a shout out to Etsy. Etsy, they're wonderful, especially for women and men that are, they don't want to be, they're not comfortable with showing their face.
Okay.
That kind of thing. You can actually go on there and use their platform.
Right.
And it's not expensive, but it's something to get you started.
Right. Etsy, by the way, guys, for those of you who don't know, is a platform for creators. So creators can go and you can sell your products on their platform, and you can purchase. I mean, it's a bunch of handcrafted, wonderfully created products, everything from tumblers to I've purchased stuff for my children's parties on Etsy. So anyway, but I just wanted to go over what Etsy, what it is.
I may not know. Yeah, you're right. And it's a really great platform. Definitely support these smaller businesses that's on there. But yes, I just started it like that, and that's what but now I have 3 machines.
Look at you growing.
Yeah. I can definitely do more than one, and I can walk away from it this time.
You're not spending it anymore.
Yeah, I'm not spending. I couldn't do that anymore. So this is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
But I use it, and then I use that platform, and then I pour back into organizations and things like that. That is dealing with children and women that have been through some type of trauma.
Absolutely. Wow, what an amazing story. And that's so it's funny, and I love your creativity, by the way, how you just started with a paintbrush, because some people will just literally give up and say, oh, I don't have this tool, I'm not going to do it. And this is to show you guys, that's why I'm doing this also, to use this platform to show you don't need, to start off. You start off with what you have.
Yeah, that's right.
You start off with what you have. Mm-hmm. And then you build from there. Not only does it make you stronger as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a business-minded person, but it makes you, stronger in faith and knowing, hey, I have to do this. I'm going to do this, and God will continue to give you the tools and build upon what you need, as you grow, so I think that's a wonderful story, impactful story. And how long have you been doing this, by the way? How long have you been in like just entrepreneurship, or just had like an entrepreneurial mindset, or, just saying I could be a business owner? Like how long have you been, in that space, in that headspace?
That headspace started in 2017.
Okay.
2017.
Okay. And you just said, you know what, this is something I need to do. This, God spoke to me, and I need to put myself out there and do this. First it was the t-shirts, do the t-shirts in your head, right? And then and it's like, no, the tumblers. So I love this Tumblr idea. And I think I showed you a post of I sent you something with, I put the Louis Vuitton or something.
Yes.
And it was how much was it? Was it $600? It was something crazy, what, $1,000 for a cup, a tumbler. Okay. And I'm like, I know my girl could replicate that. Okay. Or do something just as good, because these handcrafted things, they're more stable, and I believe that they're just better built than any of these things that they have out there where it's manufactured.
Yes.
And you're going to get a better product from something that was done, that was handcrafted. Somebody put that time into it and use quality products over something that was done and on an assembly line, and now they're charging you 80 times the price.
Yes.
I saw that, and I was just like, you guys, I said that's why I'm a believer in marketing and branding, and and why it's so important, because just putting your name out there, just a lot of these brands are basically names, right?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Their last names. And people are wearing someone else's last name and paying all this money.
Yes.
And and I mean, it's fine, do your thing, whatever makes you feel better. I never get into other people's business, but I think that build your own brand, we're your own name.
Exactly.
We're your own name. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, it's fine to wear stuff, I leave that up to people. Do your own thing. Do your own thing. But that's so wonderful. So the tools that you now use are that tumbler roller thing. You have your glitters, you have your paint.
Yes.
And, I'm sure you go to the craft store often.
I do. I go to the craft store.
They know your name.
Yes. They know. There's oh my gosh, what is she getting now? I'm like, hey. There's a lot of veterans out there too that have small businesses.
Yeah.
So I support them as well, and I tie it into my tumblers. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And
Yeah.
what would you say is the most important skill or tip that you've learned that you would like to share with other entrepreneurs? Like maybe if they're just getting started, or if they have an idea and they're like, maybe I don't, maybe I shouldn't do this right away, or I should wait.
Mhm.
Like what advice would you give? What's the best advice you would give to someone?
I would say to them to first just start, just do it. And don't think that your gift or your vision is not as important. For instance, I know plenty of, individuals that do shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And you might say, well, I want to do a shirt, because I wanted to do a shirt. And what did not deter me was that other people did it. It was just that I just wanted to do it. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I can't start it because there's 5,000 other people that's doing it. But 5,000 people, they all, like you said, they market different.
Mm-hmm.
Some don't market. Some just do it for the money. Some do it for a purpose.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they could care less if, like you were saying, the tumbler that's $500-$600 versus the tumbler that's $60. They may say, okay, well, I don't want the name brand. I want the $60 one because why? This person put their love into it, and they have a purpose behind it.
It's a story.
So, it's a story. So don't ever think your vision is not good enough, because there's somebody out there that's just as quirky as you. Because I'm a quirk. I'm a funny person. I love to laugh. I love to smile. I love to be around other people that have that same,
that energy.
thing about it. Yeah, that energy.
Yeah.
That energy is so important. And you got to get around like-minded people. You can't get around someone that say, well, girl, you already know there's 20,000 people out here make shirts. That person is the person you need to walk away from. And you need to keep pushing on your business, on what you want to do.
That's beautiful advice. That's beautiful. Thank you. And the first thing I tell people, when I speak to people about, business and business entrepreneurship, I said, you have to get your mindset right. And a part of that is getting a tribe.
Yes.
Finding a tribe, finding the people who, when you have your down days, because you will have them, finding those people to say, hey, girl, you can't get up, do what you need to do. What did you do today? Mm-hmm. What impact did you have on your business today? What did you plan today? Let's go.
Yep.
That's why a lot of things that I put on my my social media page, my small business networking page, is motivational stuff.
Yes.
Because people need that. You know how many people, they say, hey, I love, that affirmation that you put out there. I needed to hear that today. Like right at that moment, that was for me,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so important to have your tribe together and have those important people. If you know that someone around you is, a negative Nancy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to say, hey, you can't do this right now because they're putting their fears onto you.
Yep. You got to get rid of them.
Or just love them from a distance.
Yep.
And that's okay too, but they can't be in your head.
Yes.
They can't be in your head, because that their fears are going to play on to what you're doing. And now you won't be able to accomplish what you need to accomplish and what you're set out to do.
Yep.
And that's, that takes a toll on just you building who you are.
Yeah. And yes, you're right.
Yeah, it takes a toll when you 80, 90 years old on the beach, you're retired. You want to say, hey, I have no regrets. I did everything I wanted to do. I lived my life for me.
Yep.
I didn't live my life because someone else said I couldn't do something, or I felt scared because I knew they were going to say something or think something, or I did this for me. And at least I tried.
Yep.
At least I tried.
I heard someone that said, they say, you don't want to leave this earth full. You want to leave this earth empty. Meaning, don't die with your gifts.
Yes.
Because that's not going to help anyone.
Yes.
And I refuse to die with my gifts. If someone wants to know how to do a Tumblr and they can't pick it up from a YouTube channel, hey, I will show you.
Beautiful.
I will show you. I definitely will. Because it's too, no one should be going without in this world.
That's right. That's
No
right. And when you give, you know, it's like a tower. I think Steve Harvey or somebody said it. You put that energy out there, it bounces back, you know, and it's not just for it to bounce back. It's because you just really love helping people. You really want to see people grow and thrive and, you know, fulfill their destiny.
yes.
And everybody's not a hater, you know? And you know, that's why I said get those haters out your life so you don't have to think that everybody's a hater. You know, get them out.
Mhm. You gotta get rid of that, gotta get rid of that bad energy. It
Yeah,
has to go.
it
Mhm.
gotta go. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Well, this has been so wonderful talking to you, Miss Juanita.
Here.
This is again Juanita Austin of Faith Design Tumblers. Juanita, please let us know how someone can get their hands on one of your tumblers. I'm going to also post some pictures of your tumblers, either underneath or in the comments of the video so they can see, you know, some of your creations and some of the things that you can do. But let us know how we can get in touch with you, either social media, email, website, whatever.
Sure. So I am on Instagram, and my Instagram name is Faith Design Tumblers.
Okay.
And I also have a website, which is, well, of course, www, but fdtumblers.com. So yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So guys, definitely check out what Juanita has to offer. Check out her tumblers. You know, perhaps buy one. Listen, we have to support each other, support each other's businesses. And like she said, if you have any questions about, you know, the process, contact her. You
Yeah.
know, I am creating a forum of, you know, women of strong-minded Black people to, you know, come and just get our creative juices going, networking, and listen, tap each other on the shoulder and say, hey girl, you can, you know, how can I do this? I
Mhm.
need to know.
Yes.
I
Yes.
need to know, this is important. But anyway, yeah, again, I'm Ms. Z, Zenaida Johnson. Check out my free Facebook business group. It's called the Small Business Startup Networking page on Facebook. I'm also having some pretty cool courses coming out soon. So look out for those on how to build a business step by step, brick by brick, block by block. And again, I'm just helping people to build their businesses from the ground up, from idea to opening. Okay. So thanks again for chiming in. And that's it. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Thanks, Miss Juanita.
Thank you.